The Noble's Vineyards in Augusta, Missouri is an Easter parade of activity. The crew from My Bitchy Bride and My Fabulous Fat Booty Surgery clamor to get the best camera shots of the indoor-outdoor spring wedding. Sashay and Chloe are in coveralls and hats scooping up flowers on top of crates waiting in the unloading zone. They enter the banquet hall and through to the reception area, where Chloe sets the flowers on a podium as they move on to the kitchen. They enter an employee bathroom and change clothes, stashing the flimsy painter smocks in their utility bags. Now that we're inside, we need to find the blogger bots in order to find China and mix in her entourage until we get put out. But hopefully we don't. Okay, cool. Look. If we follow their amps, we can hunt them down easy. You know I follow amped up Miss China dolls. Look, our first cookie crumb. Amp. The China Jewels have loaded the Rubicon and are en route to the vineyard. Amp. Bringing Italia to the Midwest. Face, darlings, envious you and me. Okay, first things first. A bride gets made up before she walks down the aisle. Let's take out the bridal quarters for a way to get in. Just out the tiny window, they notice Angela Lace arriving with a handheld mobile television crew trailing her. Cameras mean China G. Let's blend in. Angela stops and asks the bikini shot hostess if the bride had arrived yet. The queens whip out makeup brushes and combs and begin coiffing Angela. She is bothered and distracted and swats at them. What are you doing? We're filming. If you plan on filming with China, you need to look as beat as she is, darling. I am, and I don't even get airtime. Yes, let us get you together. Just keep walking. Act natural. Angela slides, allowing the primping and the interruption. Confessional, Angela. That is one reason China and I butt heads. She feeds into this monster, and I try not to, but there's been enough cold shoulder. Just this once, since it is her wedding day. Chloe and Sashay prep Angela as she leads them into the elevator and up to the bridal suite. They are poofing her wide dread bob as she knocks on the door. One of the blogger bots with the nerd glasses answers the door. Angela enters with Chloe and Sashay glued to her personal space like they were her aura. Hello, I'm here to see China. Well, I don't know you, but you have a glam squad and a camera crew, so you can come in. Angela looks to her crew and rolls her eyes again and makes her way to China through the packed hotel room full of hangers-on in her bridal party. China is in a magenta plush hooded robe with gold lining, leaning over a face steamer. Her arms are out to her sides for the dual manicurist and feet splayed toes down for the pedicurist lying under the table. Voices in the background are sing-songing as if dueling each other with amps. Deluxe diva treatment! Get your glamour in, honey! I woke up like this, but let me zhuzh it up. Wish you could spa like this. Jealous much? Who does your glam? You need to upgrade. China doll, Barbie doll, every little girl's dream. China, I just stopped in to officially wish you all the blessings in the world on your special day. Also, thank you for the wedding invite. I don't need well wishes and blessings. I would prefer presents. The only reason you would be invited. Do you have any gifts? Well, I brought this bottle of white wine. At the mention of wine, her head snapped up and she noticed Angela had a camera crew in tow. She begins primping. Wine is welcome and so is filming. Let's toast to new friends. Angela opens the wine and Bloggerbot Bowtie brings China a golden chalice with magenta gem flecks all over it. Pour. So, what are you doing that you have cameras following you? That's so 20th century, unlike you. Well, I am trying this new internet reality thing for WIDOWS. Apparently you're not human until you are viral, digital or pixelated. I don't know what the wavelength is these days. I also see you have fabulous gaze. I can't let you outgay me. Sonny! Her assistant rushes over. I want my own set of trendy tonsorial artists to flank me daily. The room went silent as they realized China knew a 4-syllable word. What? I passed all my English classes. Now get those gays on my team now. Ladies, come with me. We'll work some things out. Well, I guess I just lost all the collateral I brought with me. I'm all tapped out. Have a lovely day, China. I'll see you at the reception. Yes, dear. Always plan to lose when you sit down with the China doll. Ooh, is that a catchphrase? Take a memo of that one, Bloggerbot Glam Grill. Thank you, Mrs. Lace, but I don't need your well wishes. Wait, is she still a Mrs. since she's not technically married? Google Earth. Somebody answer me. I'm not being rhetorical. Sonny! Angela was already out the door heading to the bar with China's voice being drowned out by her sing-song bloggerbots. Bill Fuller! Insider moment, Cinderella bride. Team China Doll, the diva of the hour, is stunning. Wish you were here, and her. Laughing hella hard, but very serious. Uh-oh, interruptus minimus. There's some thirst in the air. Chloe and Sashay are excitedly jumping up and down at their instant victory, then fall in with the rest of the glam squad by the time the door shuts. The Vineyard sound system begins blasting Barbie Girl, which she adopted as her theme song during her pageant days, signaling to the guests to be seated. They were all given MyPads to record the wedding as ceremony gifts. The notoriously zany singer and recluse Zadiam sang her famous romance ballad, Inside of Me There Is More of You, live via satellite behind a screen projected with images of blurred soft pornography and animals mating. China was led down the aisle by her wedding dress designer Milano Biscotti, the winner of Project Pret-a-Porter Wedding Edition. To complete the nuptials, Rayshawn and China wrapped their vows together before the hottest celebrity wedding officiant, Broxton Youth Pool, because no God-fearing servant of Christ would preside over this wild exhibition. The guests all move into the reception hall to await the entrance of the bride and groom. Since Chloe and Sashay had snuck through, the room had been transformed into a version of ancient Egypt. Actors/models, and only those considering themselves both, stood decorated and posed as living hieroglyphs against the walls interspersed with potted avocado trees. The fresh pink lotus flowers, like the ones Chloe carried in, were in glass bowls and sprinkled at every place setting on every table and flanking hallways and walkways. Waiters rode camels who bowed down as they filled tables and platters for the 12-course meal. Egyptian mouths roamed freely as guests petted and cooed over the singing regal cats. The bride and groom entered on platforms carried by gorgeous strong models/bodybuilders, led by a procession of wildcats, donkeys, and 26 trained Sphinx cats. During the meal, China and Rayshawn each had their own personal slaves to feed them throughout the dinner portion. Dot has been seated at a table with Angela and Marjorie as castmates. China gives dirty side-eye as she tolerates second-hand filming that is not on her own wedding. She does insist, however, that her blogger bots go sneak a scoop and make sure the old bitches aren't talking shit about her. Angela drinks and Dot eats when they're not dancing, and Marjorie's head swivels back and forth as she excitedly takes the scene in. China interrupts the second appetizer of wine, figs, and cheese to promote her vow rap as the newest independent single. Headphone Bloggerbot begins making the rounds with her MyPad to hustle floor sales. I just love all this pageantry and theatrics. Louis and I had a low-key king and queen theme. I love Marie Antoinette. We're both Scorpios. You and your husband, or you and Marie? It's Marie, right? I love that retelling Sofia Coppola directed. That's what made me get interested in her initially. I feel like this is the retelling of that version, if Marie had truly lost her mind, and it was filmed in the afterlife in the bowels of hell. I take it you don't care for the bride? I'm here for my stepson, and that's all I can say. He chose his life partner, and I have to accept it. Confessional, Marjorie. Well, I never would have guessed that my own desires for unbiased acceptance would be echoed by someone so completely different than myself. I wish my own family was the same. So you're the mother of the groom. You didn't tell anyone at the first shooting. Why not? I take no credit for the man that sits in front of you today. That's all wifey. I also don't like to name drop like I'm all connected and whatnot. So what do you do? You're obviously got to be well connected in the industry, being related to a superstar and all. I told you, he's my only connection to this machine. I was a teacher before this, and currently I'm working on a health and nutrition business with my cousin and a friend of ours. So you don't work right now? But what do you do? Shh, they're about to do their last couple dance. Aw, 9 times the charm. Confessional, Dot. I was so glad the night was finally coming to an end. Marjorie's questions were just so annoying. In that moment, I was in no mood. The bride and groom finished their last dance as a new couple for the night, and the DJ sends the couple off for their pre-honeymoon interviews they were to do for Paparazzi magazine and midnight launch of China's newlywed fashion line on the shopping channel. Our castmates parted ways soon after the bride and groom's send-off in their Range Rover limousine. Angela dropped Dot back at Toya's for a recap, smoke, and sleep, before heading with camera crew in tow to her overnight sit-in at the site of the old East St. Louis Library on 9th and Martin Luther King Drive. If they could save it, her plan was to renovate and reopen. using most of her personal books from one of her large storage units. Marjorie has an opportunity alone to listen to the radio and wish for one time she hadn't. It's Hot FM1. There was more shade than the palm fronds cooling the bride and groom at the crossover filming of The House Widows of St. Louis and My Bitchy Bad Girl Turned Bride. Dot doesn't even want to claim our diva doll. We get her antics may be over the top, but Rayshawn loves the girl and fans do too. In other crossovers, Angela Lace may be hitting more than the bong with Dot, as she seemed a little woozy after many glasses of spirits at the wedding, while Marjorie has finally come to film, and this time it's with the two stoners. Maybe they all came to an agreement over the peace pipe. Marjorie wails in exasperation and embarrassment.